National briefing time with me, Kelly Nash. And we're in the back-to-school season for so many families. And in the spirit of bipartisanship, because I am known as someone who loves to reach across the aisle and help those on the left, I am offering a special class today on the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Let's open the school bell. There we go. We're back in session now. And first thing you need to know is how to read a poll. We've got a special teacher assistant in today. This is Harry Enton on CNN, helping you read polls.
Americans are far more hawkish on crime than they think that they are. What are we talking about? Trump's net approval handling crime. Where was he last year? He was way underwater at minus 13 points views of term number 1. But look at where he is now. He's on the positive side. Americans view Trump far more favorably now on crime than they did a year ago. It was one of Biden's worst issues. Granted, pretty much every issue was one of Biden's worst issues. And again, look at where Donald Trump is. Way, way, way above Joe Biden. What is that? That's 27 points. So Americans vastly prefer Donald Trump's approach to crime than they did to Joe Biden's.
Americans writ large, but how does it break down by party?
The party closest to your views on crime. Look, in 2023, Republicans were favored by 13 points. Look at where they were in May of this year. Republicans were actually favored by 16 points. They actually gained ground on crime.
Now, that's one poll that Harry read. There's many others. So Donald Trump is winning on the economy. They love his tough on crime stance. They love his deportations. Pretty much anything you can think of that's important for voting, they love Donald Trump. The one thing, there is a chink in the Donald Trump armor. It's his tone. They don't like his bravado. They don't like the way he talks. They don't like it when he demeans others. It's outside the norms. So with that in mind, listen to Nicole Wallace reading back Gavin Newsom's tweet. She only going to read part of it, but he writes a tweet trying to mimic Donald Trump, and she's reading it to California Representative Robert Garcia. What does he think of that?
Quote, when Speaker Little Man Johnson is standing in the unemployment line, he can thank Donald Taco J. Trump. Trump missed a simple deadline, something he has often done with his many failed businesses. Now California will fire him with new, more beautiful maps, highly anticipated historic press conference, and this is with your favorite governor. Is this a tone that you would like to see all your fellow Democrats adopt?
Yes, I think what the governor is doing here is being more aggressive. The governor is doing exactly what we need to do and a true model in the way to take on Donald Trump. Donald Trump only understands brute force. He only understands someone actually standing up to him and pushing back aggressively. And I think the governor has captured the moment and he's leading the country. And as for the rest of the party and members of Congress and leadership and all of us that are involved, we just have to match that level of energy.
Goodness gracious. So they can't read, they can't write tweets, they can't read or write. Arithmetic, not so strong either, because what Gavin Newsom is talking about is he's going to go ahead and violate their own state constitution, and he'll personally redistrict in order to try to pick up a few extra seats. And by the way, I'll just point out, we've talked about this almost ad nauseum, that if California, majority Democrat states, if they all redistrict and they all went all Democrat, and the Republicans did the same, like I live in South Carolina, we have 7 seats. 1 is held by a Democrat. We could easily redistrict him into extinction. That would be James Clyburn. We could redistrict him right out of existence, but we're just one state. Florida would pick up 6, 7. The list of states, Ohio could pick up many. The Republicans have the advantage on this, and that's before the new census comes out. And gosh, you got to do the arithmetic on that, guys. You're going to end up losing seats as it is because a lot of illegals lived in Democrat majority seats. And when they recount and they say, "Oh, you don't have 700,000 people in this district anymore," you're now losing a seat. That's coming too, but. So the reading and the arithmetic is real, and the writing, it's not working for the Democrats. Now, let me just bring you this little story because I think it's so important to hear what Fox News was reporting on Operation Broken Blade that went down yesterday.
In a partnered operation named Broken Blade, Homeland Security, the DOJ, and LAPD targeted 11 suspects across Los Angeles. Agents surround one suspect and take him into custody. Police say they also rescued 4 victims, including a minor. Federal investigators say a female, Amaya Armstead, who goes by the street name Lady Duck, is a prolific human trafficker who ruled with force. In another instance, the complaint alleges an associate of Armstead asked if she wanted to purchase his sex worker for $1,000, noting that if she did not, he would sell her organs across the border.
Are you kidding? I mean, these are monsters that we're taking off the streets. Monsters in Los Angeles that are coming off the streets. Now, that happened right around the same time as the governor, Gavin Newsom, was holding a press conference to say he's not fighting those people, he's fighting Republicans. Karen Bass, the LA mayor, and Maxine Waters also happened to be at that press conference. And when I guess they came outside and they heard the news about all of this going down with the feds in coordination with the LAPD, rather than just read the room and get on the side of law and order, they chose violence.
There is no way this was a coincidence. This was widely publicized that the governor and many of our other elected officials were having a press conference here to talk about redistricting, and they decided they were going to come and thumb their nose in front of the governor's face.
We know that this president would love to call martial order and to say that he's protecting the citizens against us, those that he had deemed are part of DEI, diversity and inclusion and all of that.
Oh my gosh. I actually think that Maxine Waters, if you couldn't make out what she said, I believe that this president would love to call martial order and then say, okay, first, the way she phrases it, does Maxine Waters think that martial order is like a person? Like she thinks that, like Donald Trump, I want to talk to get martial order on the phone. Marshall, how you been, pal? And I mean, Karen Bass, the idea that we took people off the streets, including one who was willing to let a woman be murdered so that they could sell her organs for money, that this is somehow a snub against you. It is a snub against you in the sense that you've had the abilities to stop these people for many years in California. Gavin Newsom's had these opportunities. Karen Bass, you've had these opportunities. Democrats in general have had these opportunities, and you have opted to protect the illegals. Okay, so we got to teach you again how to read the room, read the polls. We got to do the arithmetic. You cannot redistrict to get more House seats than the Republicans. You also are going to lose when it comes to the census. Reading, writing, arithmetic. These are things that fail the Democrat Party.